Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Philippa, and I am the knitter of One Knitter and Her Dog. This is Kip, the dog. What are you looking at? It's been a while since I've recorded for YouTube. I think the last video was a knitting holiday vlog back in the autumn, so very much in spring here now, so it's been a while. Yeah, I thought I'd do a little bit of a catch up, show you what I've been knitting. I've got a couple of finished objects, a fair few whips for me, and also some recent purchases. Apologies if you can hear the road outside. Yeah, the videos have been absent, but the knitting definitely hasn't. I mean, I may as well start with the one you can see in the background here. This was my Advent project, which I finished quite quickly. I did knit as I opened it. This was my Advent calendar, which last year, I got from Irish Artisan Yarn. It was so lovely. I mean, you can see how beautiful the colours are. And I knitted the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose. The neutral colour was the Scheepjes Nakid Undyed pure wool DK, which if you've seen my first video, which was a thrifted yarn haul, I had some bargains. I'll link it if I can remember how to. So yeah, I think I cast that on, as I say, beginning of December, and it was finished certainly by the end of January, and it's so squishy and lovely. Highly recommend the pattern if you are nervous about trying short rows, or yeah, it's definitely helped me with that. Really well written pattern. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen the Sweet Shop blanket. It's beautiful and it's popular for a very good reason. So yeah, that was my first finished object since I've seen you last. I grabbed the second one. Okay, I can't remember if I mentioned in my last video that I was wanting to knit Rob, my husband, something, a jumper for Christmas, but obviously quite hard to knit that when they're around a lot of the time on an evening when you're knitting, etc. I also wanted him to have a say in what the jumper was, what colour, things like that, so I made a little tiny mini sweater which doubled as a Christmas tree for him to open on Christmas Day. And then in the new year we looked at patterns together. I think I narrowed it down to a few that I quite liked the look of, and then we went from there. So this is going to be hard to fit in the screen because he's 6'5". So this is we went for the Storm Sweater Man, sorry Kip, by Petite Knit. And to say it was, because as I say, 6'5", and it's beautiful textured pattern, it flew off the needles. I think I started it at the end of January, no, maybe early January, and it was finished by mid-February. And I made it in Drops Lima, and I think the colour was Sea Green Mix. I'm not sure what the number was, but I'll put it in the description below. I just loved it. Again, short rows, which, although always seem a little bit daunting to me, I was a lot more well prepared for it after finishing the Sweet Shop blanket. So yeah, typically I finished it just when it started to get a little warmer here, but then British weather being what it is, it has then obviously got a lot colder again. He's been wearing it quite a lot, so yeah, highly recommend the pattern. As with the sweet shop, I'm sure you're all aware of the storm sweater. I would really like to make myself one, but that'll have to be for another day. So yeah, let's move on to it. So, whips. I have a couple of blankets and one garment and one pair of socks, because you've got to have a pair of socks on your needle, right, don't you? So, this is the first blanket. Okay, what am I doing? This is the Coziest Memories blanket by Kemper Wray. So yeah, a lovely scrappy project. Where am I? I started here. I finished this square last night, so I've just finished my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My 8th row. I think I started this back in 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. So it's slow and steady, but I do love it. The colours just shouldn't work, but they do. What more can I say? I'm loving working on that. I always get very annoyed if there isn't anything left when I'm using the yarn for something that I can't add it in. But you know, never mind. Let's do the other blanket to get things sorted, get those out of the way. This is the Moonflower Mosaic blanket. I can't remember the name of the designer. Apologies. I will put it in the description below and on the screen. So yeah, the Moonflower Mosaic blanket. This I started last July, I believe. Let me stand up a bit. And again, another glorious scrappy blanket. Yesterday I stitched together the most recent outer edge of flowers. It's just, again, the colours shouldn't work, but they really do. It's kind of hard to keep this one flat, so it's going to have a good steam block or something and some pinning, I think, once it's done. But I'm just loving making them. I've committed it to memory now, so it's literally just TV knitting. So satisfying. I don't know what he's looking for. I'm by near the front door, so of course somebody must be coming. And I'm talking, so you know. He must wonder what I'm doing. I'm not going to be offended that you're not interested, Kit. Okay, so my next whip is just a pair of vanilla socks. We took a trip to Scheepjes, which isn't too far from where I am, a few weekends ago. Couple of lovely yarn shops there. So I just picked up some, well, Rob wanted some more socks. He chose this yarn. It is a James C. Brett Funny Feet. I will put the colour below because it's really lovely colours actually. I believe the person in the shop said that it's one of their new colourways, so I will be sure to link it. But yeah, really, look, this self-striping yarn just seems to knit itself, doesn't it? So just a basic vanilla sock, 64 stitches, 2.25mm needles, 2x2 rib. Yeah, just picking it up here and there when I haven't got the capacity to speak about anything different. So yeah, another pair of socks. Okay, the carrot bag of dreams. This is my most challenging project to date, I would say. it would have been the storm sweater man. But as I said earlier, if you watched my first video, which was when I found an excellent thrifted yarn haul, you may remember this yarn. So I found, this is more of the Undyed 4-ply pure wool Scheepjes, sorry, I can't. And I also have, of course I'm in a tangle, some Kidsilk, Rowan Kidsilk Haze in the shade, I think it's Ghost. Both of these yarns, as I say, huge bargains in a charity shop back in last August. And as you can see, quite a yellowy white, and then a bluey for the Kidsilk Haze. And when these two are combined, it blows my mind how different it looks. I had originally planned to make the Kip sweater by Rebecca Clow, the Coziest, but it wasn't, I really liked the fabric, but I just wasn't feeling the knitting of it at that time. So I decided to cast on another Petite knit pattern, the Moby slipover. Sorry, try not to cover my mouth. The Moby, sorry Kip, I'm covering you instead. The Moby slipover by Petite Knit. My first ever cable, and I said mock cable, I'm not sure, for this pan. First ever project cable knitting. I added collar a few nights ago. It was really daunting. And I absolutely have made some mistakes, I'm sure, but I mean, look at the difference with the colours when combined. Isn't it amazing? So yeah, I've joined in the round, done a few rounds, so feeling a bit better about that now. It's a bit easier with the chart reading. I'm quite a loose knitter, I think, so I tend to size down at least half a size, so for the needles. So I think I sized down to a 3mm needle for the body on this one, and 2.5mm on the collar, and I'll do the same for the ribbing at the bottom and the ribbing on the sleeves. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's so lovely, and I'm really pleased with the fabric. I wasn't sure how I'd be with the Kidsilk Haze, but so far so good. This was also the first time I'd held anything double, so I really throwing myself in at the deep end here. Kip, we have viewers, hopefully. So yeah, this is coming along. I think I cast it on April, probably about a month ago. So as I say, generally just doing a little bit here and there when I can, in the daylight, and when I've got time to sort of concentrate. But yeah, making the size small. I think as deciding now is the time to clean his paw. Hello, you like this one? I also wanted to mention, when I was knitting this, I was a bit, how should I do the gauge swatch? Which section, you know? And somebody else on Ravelry had recommended just casting on the back yoke and then blocking that for the gauge swatch, which ended up being such a good idea. So I'd highly recommend doing that if anybody else wanted to do this or the sweater version a go. But yeah, I'm really loving it. I wasn't sure how I'd be with the Kidsilk Haze, but the fluff seems to be okay so far. And you know, the fact that I got these yarns for £1 a ball. A pound. Absolutely amazing. So it seemed a good one to try. What do you think? He despairs. So that is all of my finished objects and whips. I mentioned that I had been to Skipton and to some of the yarn shops there. You were very welcome, weren't you? One of which was Pearl and Jane, run by the lovely Jane, of course. And I wanted to, as I said earlier, I had originally wanted to use the 2 yarns I'm using for the Moby slipover for the kip sweater, but I wasn't really feeling it. So this is the West Yorkshire Spinners Fleece Bluefaced Leicester DK in the shade Umber. So yes, I treated myself to a sweater's quantity of this for the kip sweater, as you can see. Does that smell good? Excellent colours. I mean, I have to make the kip sweater, don't I? Because, you know, what came first, the sweater or the kip? It's definitely the kip. So yes, I've treated myself to a sweater quantities worth of this. Hoping to get that cast on soon, or at least gauge swatched. Go away in a month or so. So I'd quite like to be able to take it. But it's such lovely colours. But yeah, it's so soft. So soft. So yeah, that's very exciting. I also feel like this will be perfect for autumn, winter, under some dungarees, jeans, anything. Just nice and beautiful. So yeah, that was it. That was my big splurge. I think that's probably the most I've spent on a sweater quantity for myself. Although obviously Rob's used a lot more yarn, but drops obviously a bit cheaper. But you know, I'm in West Yorkshire, so West Yorkshire Spinners is a local yarn dyer, right? That works. And of course, lovely to support a small business. Highly recommend visiting Pearl and Jane if you are in the Skipton area. So yeah, I think that's everything for now. What else have I got? Oh, exciting. In, what are we? A few weeks' time, I will be attending Lay Family Yarn's Woolly Retreat, which is very exciting. I booked that back in December, and then, you know, the spring felt like months and months away then. I'm very excited to go and meet Kelly and Nick and Jeff, the dog, of course. I'm excited for some yarn dyeing and meeting some other lovely knitters, crocheters. I'm visiting beautiful Ironbridge. You're coming, aren't you? Not to the yarn dyeing. I'm not sure how Jeff would feel about that. But yeah, so I might try and film some of that, maybe. I don't want to be intruding on other people, but maybe some bits and pieces here and there. Very exciting. And if not, I will definitely catch you up on what happened, what I got up to and what I dyed and all the lovely yarns that everyone else comes up with. But yeah, for now, I think that is everything. Thank you very much if you've got this far. As I say, I'm hoping to try and do a few more videos. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. Well, us. I don't know who he's waiting for. The postie's been. He loves the postman as he gives him gravy bones, you know, which is fair. But yes, we'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye.